Hello folks, good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live watch along and commentary of Inter Milan versus Napoli at the San Siro for your Sunday night football. So of course it's been a week to forget, you could say, for Inter Milan in their hope to reach the last 8 of the UEFA Champions League. Instead they fell short and couldn't hold their nerves in a penalty shootout away at Atletico Madrid in midweek. Now they've got to focus on the league, as of course that's the only trophy that they can win this season now. But when you look at the fact that they are 13 points clear at the top from their city rivals of AC Milan, you'd think that no matter what the result is tonight, they should go on to win their Serie A title for the 20th time. Meanwhile, Napoli, league winners last season, here at the potential winners of this season's league. And it just shows how far behind they are of Inter Milan. 31 points they are off Inter Milan in the Serie A table after they won everything in the league last season. The game has just kicked off. So it is Inter Milan versus Napoli. And let's get that clock started. And it is, as you'd expect, Inter Milan in their home colours of the famous blue and black strip. But straight away Napoli in the all-white kit, their away shirt tonight, going on an early attack there, just 20 seconds in, trying to approach the right wing there, and then the cross came across the face of the Inter Milan goal, but Darmian made the clearance. It's gone out for a throw-in on the far side, and Napoli have instead thrown it all the way back into their own half to their back line. So we haven't gone through the lineups yet, so there's been 2 changes from both teams after they were both knocked out in their Champions League matches in midweek. Inter Milan lost to Atletico Madrid, as already mentioned at the start of the commentary, while Napoli lost at Barcelona in midweek back on Tuesday night. So it looks as though Denzel Dumfries and Stefan de Vrij have gone onto the bench after they started in midweek, and they have been replaced by Acerbi, who will be playing in the centre-half role, and Matteo Darmian taking over Dumfries on the right wing. And for Napoli, it looks as though Raspadori's gone back as centre-forward, as Victor Osimhen is actually starting on the bench today, which does come as a bit of a surprise. And Murray has also gone onto the bench, as he has been replaced by Oliveira at left-back. So it looks as though Inter Milan are playing a 3-5-2 formation against Napoli's 4-3-3. We'll go through the full squad. So starting lineup for Inter Milan: Jan Sommer in goal, 3 in defence, Bastoni, Acerbi, Pavard, 5 in midfield of DeMarco, Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Barella and Matteo Darmian, and just the 2 up front, Lautaro Martinez on the left and Marcus Thuram attacking down on the right, while Napoli have Merit in goal, 4 in defence. But actually they'll just go back. It's Mkhitaryan through to Marcus Thuram, who's near the penalty spot, and his left-booted shot is blocked. And you could say that would have been a shot on target at least, and Napoli have been able to defend well at the end there, and they just be able to come out of their own half down the left-hand side, and they switch the side. It's gone onto the right-hand side as they go up now with Anguissa. Anguissa cuts in, he's surrounded by 3 interplays, but still gets the forward pass to Politano. His shot is blocked. It might have been more of a cross, but it looks as though the linesman has seen something nearby to say that that's a foul. It looks as though Bastoni was pushed to the ground by Raspadori, and it's going to be a free kick for Inter Milan. So going back to the Napoli starting lineup: Di Lorenzo at right back, Romani along with Juan as your centre halves, and Oliveira playing at left back. 3 in midfield from right to left: Anguissa, Lobotka and Traore, and then the front 3 from right to left is Politano, Raspadori and Kvaratskhelia. Sorry, let me say that again. Kvaratskhelia, which isn't always an easy surname to pronounce. But welcome to the live stream if you have just joined us. 3 minutes gone, Inter Milan 0, Napoli 0 in a match which last season, you know, Napoli were the team that won the league, but instead it looks as though they'll be handing over the crown jewels to Inter Milan at the end of the season. Some may say they may as well hand it to them now. 13 points clear, Inter Milan, with just under 10 games remaining of the league season. Napoli in possession as we speak on the halfway line. The referee decides to pause the game and go back and have a free kick for the visiting team. Barea with a late, well, he goes full in right behind Traore and sweeps his legs out. Never went in for the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if a yellow card came out of this. Referee today is Federico Lipena. Well, it looks as though it's just a warning for Nicola Barea. And the play is back underway with Napoli taking the free kick inside their own half. And they've kicked it out to the far side with Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo's got some space and he'll take his time with how he plays the next ball. As, of course, you've got the live video print on the bottom right corner of your screen. And in the Eredivisie, there is a late game going on there as well in the Netherlands. Halfway through that game, it's PSV Eindhoven 0, FC Twente 0. Throw-in for Napoli to come just inside their own half. But yes, it is, of course, San Siro always full of good fans, but I think a lot of them today are probably still thinking about that penalty shootout defeat to Atletico Madrid, which they were leading 2-0 on aggregate, but then they let in 2 goals from Antoine Griezmann and Memphis Depay late on from the Dutchman to take it into extra time. Then they just couldn't do it in the penalty shootout. But as we talk about Inter Milan now, it's Darmian who wins the ball and then goes forward, makes the cross. It's a low ball cross. It's then denied by Lobotka. And then it's with what looks to be Traore, and he falls down to the ground. Benjamin Pavard with a foul there, says the referee. Traore had his back towards Pavard. Then he tried to make a left turn on Pavard, but Pavard decided to pull his shirt, it looked like. And that was enough for the referee to give another free kick here for Napoli. But yes, it's been not been a great season for Napoli fans. They're struggling just to even get into the European spots. I mean, at the moment, as we currently stand, they're 7 points off AS Roma, who are in that 5th spot, which is at least guaranteed a Europa League spot for next season. And for Napoli, you know, to go from Champions League to not even making a European spot this season just shows how the downfall has become very, very tricky for them, and not, of course, great for the likes of Victor Osimhen and Vatchgilia, who are 2 world-class players who knows, maybe this summer they will be talked about in the transfer window. Inter Milan have just conceded a throw in here. Oliveira will take it, the Uruguayan international. He's actually got 7 yellow cards this season, so certainly a man not shy of being in the referee's book. He's played a short throw into Vatchgilia, and instead they've decided to roll the ball back to the halfway line again into the centre circle and out wide to the right-hand side with Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo, the short pass to Anguissa, then on to Romani. Now with Juan. He has Marcus Thuram chasing him, so makes the pass back to Merritt in the 18-yard box, wearing a full orange kit tonight in the goalkeeper shirts. Jan Sommer, a man been known for wearing the orange colours. Not wearing those tonight, though. Can't afford mixing those colours up, as we did a watch-along the other night between Chelsea women and Arsenal women. Arsenal women turned up with the wrong coloured socks. They bought only white socks, which Chelsea wears their home colours with their full blue kit. And apparently they had to get some away socks from the Chelsea megastore ahead of the game. And because of that, and because of not being prepared, or getting the memo, you could say, they had to go and buy them at the megastore and then delay the game by half an hour. You couldn't write it. But it looks as though Jan Sommer's in a full black kit tonight. Actually, I'm not sure, but are Inter Milan wearing their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirts again, which is a co-sponsor of their main shirt sponsor, Palman Pictures, which from last summer ended up being a €20 million deal. And Inter Milan currently in possession with Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer, a man who's had quite the season in his debut campaign with Inter Milan. 23 clean sheets in all competitions, which is mad to think when you look at the fact that he's made 36 appearances for the Nerazzurri. Brilliant stats return, and you know, when you think of the fact that they lost Andre Onana to Manchester United last summer, you think that they haven't missed him whatsoever of the Cameroon international. Napoli have got the ball in their own half at the moment. Not much action has really happened yet, as we're a few seconds away from reaching the 10th minute mark. It's with the Botka. Plays it out to the far side of Di Lorenzo. But as I say, the atmosphere tonight, Wangan is a through ball, and it's now with Raspadori. Couldn't quite get it. It was a heavy touch, and Pavard was able to collect it right in front of the Inter goal. A dangerous moment from Napoli. They could have found themselves a way through. They still got it with Traore. Traore, a man who is currently on loan from AFC Bournemouth of the Premier League. Now with DeMarco. Inter Milan instead are going to go on the attack. It's 30 yards out from goal, and now the Toro Martinez has his shot blocked and out for a corner kick. But just so quick off the mark, Inter Milan. DeMarco out onto the left-hand side with a superb pass across to Martinez. The attack started though with Lautaro Martinez intercepting Traore, and then, as I mentioned before, DeMarco on the left wing playing a low ball cross into the penalty area. Martinez got his left foot behind it, but it was blocked by Romani, and in behind for our first corner of the game. So here we go then, first corner, only for it to be headed out, and then a volleyed effort on the rebound from Barea goes way off the target, and it will be a goal kick for the Serie A champions. But do get in touch on our live chat page, and do vote on our poll who you think will win tonight. Inter Milan currently our favourites at 100%. No one going for a draw, no one going for a Napoli win, it would seem. Napoli with a goal kick, trying to play from the back, it would seem, but ends up just being intercepted by their opponents. It's now with Benjamin Pavard inside the Inter half, just outside the centre circle, plays it out across to his left of Acerbi. Now Bastoni. Bastoni instead will play it out to Jan Sommer, who's just a couple of yards out of his safe area, you could say, where he can actually use his hand. Back with Jan Sommer. But no rain, it's a quite chilled night, you could say, at the San Siro. Now here comes DeMarco on the left-hand side. DeMarco's got options, goes with a low ball cross again, and there's a header at goal, and it's saved, and another save. It was Lautaro Martinez this time, and Barea couldn't finish it. He yet again hits it over the target. But Moret with two fantastic saves to keep Napoli level. DeMarco yet again a threat down the left-hand side. Napoli had four defenders back. First cross was deflected and blocked. Darmian goes with the header on near the far post. That was saved by Merritt. Then Martinez on the rebound was yet again straight at the Italian goalkeeper. And after all of that, it will just be a goal kick for Napoli. But Inter Milan looking like the first team to score tonight, it would seem. And here they come again, Inter Milan, and yet this time it looked like it was a failed, terribly attempted cross, and only for Merritt to just jump in the air and catch it with both hands. And straight away he throws it out to the far right of Di Lorenzo. Short pass forward to Anguissa. Anguissa wearing the, you could say, the highest number shirt, or biggest number shirt this evening, 99. Well, I think I've got it down that Bastoni has the highest number at Inter Milan tonight in the starting lineup, at least at 95. But I guess, I don't know, it just seems to be a thing in Serie A, Italian football. They do enjoy their high numbers shirts. I mean, I remember the original Ronaldo, the R9 as we nickname him, he wore 99 when he played on for the other side of Milan, of AC Milan, in red and black. Of course, a former Inter player as well. It's with merit, who has kept Napoli in it so far, to Oliveira. Instead, it takes a block in the air, and now it's with DeMarco. DeMarco might go for it. He did, with a low shot, and it went wide past the far post at the end. He went with his left boot, and he had the space to do it. And as they always say, if you don't try, you don't know. Inter Milan knocking on the door to try and open the lead here. And yet again, Napoli just can't play from the back, from their goal kick. Luckily this time they get a break out of it, because Juan was fouled by Lautaro Martinez. Martinez went very late there. Not much in it, bit of a clip, but linesman was right next to it and waved his flag straight away. Just seeing on my monitor that Victor Osimhen, of course, he is on the bench tonight. Their top goal scorer this season for Napoli. May come as a surprise he's not in the starting lineup. Unless there might be a knock, or maybe he's not fully fit. We're not sure on that, but Francesco Calzona is the manager at the moment, only interim boss of Napoli. He is also the manager of Slovakia and has been with them as their leading manager since 2022. So he's a busy man, because this is the last game before the international break. So he'll be straight away flying back to Slovakia after this game to manage his other team. You don't see it that often anymore, but it does happen. Someone managing a club and also a country. Coaches also do the same thing. Now here, Mkhitaryan is low. Well, it looked like he was trying to go for a follow-through ball there to try and pick out Martinez, but Martinez didn't get much luck because the pass got deflected and the ball went in the opposite direction. The visitors on the back foot. They do have the ball though with Romani. Nice forward play across the field to Oliveira. Oliveira's got acres of space, and he'll use it up to make the pass to Kvaratskhelia. Now with Traore, back out wide to Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. He's up against Matteo Darmian. Then a pass inside to Oliveira. Now to Kvaratskhelia again, to Traore with the cross. There's a low ball cross, and then kicked out of the penalty area again, this time by Acerbi. Napoli throwing to come on the near side. Of course, Napoli seen as the second favourites tonight, but you know, this team did win the league last season. They want to prove a point against the team that they will most likely hand over the trophy to at the end of this campaign. But as I said, 7 points off AS Roma in 5th. So that's their mission tonight, to just try and grab a European spot for next season and end the season on a high. They got knocked out by FC Barcelona in midweek. 3-1 they lost away from home. Jan Sommer with a hopeless kick there, only for it to go all the way out to his opposition goalkeeper of Alex Merritt. Alex Merritt only with the 7 clean sheets this season compared to Jan Sommer's 23. Will one of them get a clean sheet to add to tonight? We'll find out later on in the game, of course. But here's a low ball cross again from Inter Milan from the left-hand side. Anguissa with the block. Now with Di Lorenzo. Falls to the ground. He was pushed from behind by Lautaro Martinez. He picks up the yellow-purple ball. Di Lorenzo, the captain of Napoli, having a word with the referee. Probably asking that the captain of Inter Milan should be given a yellow. I think it'll just be a warning. There wasn't really much contact in it to be a yellow, I don't think. And there's been a goal in Ligue 1. Montpellier, who are hosting Paris Saint-Germain this evening, have conceded on the 14th minute. Coutinho scoring. And at full-time, Benfica win 1-0 against Casapia. And also in Turkey, Trabzonspor losing at home to Fenerbahce by 3-2. Kvaratskhelia now, right in front of the Napoli dugout, is fouled and wins the free kick. That Matteo Darmian there being the suspect. And as always, I mean, it's never worth going to an Inter game if Javier Zanetti is not there. He's always there watching his beloved club that he was so successful at. As part of the Champions League winning team in 2010 when they won the treble under Jose Mourinho. I mean, this team, it's hard to compare this team to the 2010 squad of Diego Milito, Samuel Eto'o, Wesley Sneijder, Javier Zanetti, Julio Cesar, the list goes on. But this Inter Milan team this season under Simeone Inzaghi have been very impressive. Absolutely nailed the league after reaching a Champions League final last year. So it's fair to say the end of last season was a sign of things to come from Inzaghi and his men. And there's rumours that Simeone Inzaghi, Lautaro Martinez, and I think the other one was Berea, were planning to have contract talks at Inter Milan, but it has been delayed until the end of the season. Simeone Inzaghi's got a contract until next summer, so that'll be in 2025. Lautaro Martinez is the same. Actually, no, I think Lautaro Martinez is until 2026. But with how well Martinez has played in an Inter shirt this season, they'll be wanting to keep hold of him, or maybe at least get a big price tag on him. 26 goals this season. Here's Marcus Thuram, and his shot just goes past the post, but I don't think it would have counted, because after the ball went out of play, the linesman raised his flag for offside, and it's a tight one. It was a long ball from the Inter half down the middle to pick out Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram's first touch is sublime. Then he gets the ball past the goalkeeper Merritt, but he couldn't convert it on target. But that's what has been a joy to watch with Inter Milan in the last few months. Just the way that they play either low or high balls past the back line of any team. It is fantastic to watch, and they do. You could just tell that they've been working on that very much under Inzaghi. If you have just joined us, as we nearly reached the halfway point of the first half. Inter Milan 0, Napoli 0 in this Sunday night Serie A match. The potential champions against the current champions of Italy. But so far Inter Milan have had plenty of chances, at least 2 shots on target, both saved by Merritt to keep it at all square. Now with Kvaratskhelia, who collects the pass on the halfway line, tries to get a forward ball to Raspadori. Instead it takes a deflection off Pavard, and then it's won back by Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer boots it out far and wide to the right hand side, then headed and intercepted by Oliveira. Now it's Pavard who wins it back for Inter. And actually Darmian tries to look out for a long ball for Marcus Thuram. He was in charge of that ball, but he couldn't pick out the French international. And now it's with Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo, not really sure what kind of pass he was looking for there. It was miles away from Politano where he was positioned. And it's back with the defensive line of Inter Milan. Acerbi, long ball across to Matteo Darmian. Matteo Darmian with a man who we remember being a Manchester United fullback with very short hair. These days he has grown it a bit. Feels like he's kind of kept hold of his lockdown hair. Apologies, folks. I don't know if we had a connection issue, but I think we're still going. Looks as though Napoli, have they won a corner? No. I could have sworn the last touch came off a blue and black shirt, but referee and the linesman say otherwise. No, actually looking at the replay, looks as though Anguissa was the last one to have the last touch. Goal kick taken short. And it is PSG who have doubled the lead thanks to Kylian Mbappe on the 22nd minute. They lead by 2-0 away at Montpellier. And full time in the MLS. New England Revolution 1, FC Cincinnati 2. Inter Milan with another cross down the left. Doesn't pick out anyone. And instead it just rolls out for a goal kick. A throw-in on the near side. Lautaro Martinez chased the ball down, but he couldn't get there. And he actually ran into the advertising board, but hopefully that doesn't cause a knock for the Argentine. Of course, players like Lautaro Martinez will be off back to South America this week to play in the World Cup qualifiers. Of course, they do start it a little bit early in South America. They do it in one league table, pretty much. So every game really does count for the likes of Argentina and Brazil. Well, every team in South America who enter it, but just shows if you're not up for it, you could easily not make the World Cup. But of course, World Cup format has changed for the next one in 2026. Instead of 32 teams, it's been expanded to 48. With Mathieu Darmian. Now with Benjamin Pavard. Back to Darmian. Darmian, a Serie A winner back in 2021 under Antonio Conte. And he'll be delighted that he'll be getting his hands on his second one. But here's Marcus Thuram. Oh, he was about to go for the kick, but then he lost the ball behind him, but he still has it. Just goes out of the penalty area, then he enters it again. Falls to the ground. Is that a penalty? No. Referee instead raises his arm. I have a feeling that is offside. But Thuram fell to the ground, and I thought for a moment maybe he was going to point to the spot. So Marcus Thuram, it was there for him, but then all of a sudden he was through on goal, but then he stopped. He was looking over his shoulder because he looked as though he had Romani chasing him from behind, and then a few moments later Thuram was fouled, it looked like, but actually they are checking possible penalty on VAR at the moment, but it was offside. Referees just confirmed that after a VAR check. So even if Thuram had gone through on goal and scored, it wouldn't have counted. Free kick taken by Merit. Napoli win another free kick again, just inside their own half. Anguissa, well, he's on his knees. He went up in the air against Mkhitaryan, and it looks as though, oh, he does land on his right foot. Not in a nice way. I think Mkhitaryan had shoved him up in the air, and that changed Anguissa's direction to fall quite awkwardly. So Napoli with the free kick. They've gone long out to the left-hand side to pick up Kvaratskhelia. His first touch is brilliant. He gets across past two Inter players, then a short pass to Anguissa. Anguissa, with his long black dreaded hair, plays it out and wide to Politano. Now with Di Lorenzo, back to Anguissa, and instead they've been pushed a few yards back just after Kvaratskhelia was getting some spark going for their attack. Now with Anguissa again on the far side. And Inter Milan have done well here. They've put pressure on them to go a few yards back and to try and stop that attacking momentum. Now with Juan. And Napoli have just completely gone back into their own half with Oliveira. But Inter Milan pushing them back. Outnumbered in midfield, but Inzaghi known for playing 5 in midfield. This evening you've got DeMarco, Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu and Barella along with Darmian doing that. Well, it's a crazy game. It's in France with Montpellier and Paris Saint-Germain. Montpellier have now scored for it to be the 3rd goal in the opening half an hour. They still trail though. Montpellier 1, Paris Saint-Germain 2. Of course, Mbappe scoring tonight. It could be his last few games as a PSG player, as the big rumours are out that he's probably already signed a deal as becoming the next Real Madrid manager. Through ball going in behind the Napoli defence there. Either way, Thuram wouldn't have got there because Merritt beat him to it, but the referee has raised his arm for offside. So we've just reached half an hour. Inter Milan 0, Napoli 0 for your Sunday night football on Let's Talk Sport. Do get in touch on our live chat page. Do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. And of course, do vote on our poll on who you think will win the game tonight. Jamie Burgoyne has got in touch saying in capital letters, can you hear the Liverpool sing? No, no, no. I mean, I don't know how I've got the energy to even commentate tonight after. For any of you who don't know, I'm a Manchester United fan, so if you haven't heard, Man United beat Liverpool on the 120th minute. 4-3 they won. They went 1-0 up, then went 2-1 down. Then it was 2-all, and they went 3-2 down in extra time, and then just out of nowhere, United come back to win 4-3. Here come Napoli now to go for that first goal. Instead, it looked as though there was a block against Raspadori's shot. And it will be a corner kick to come for the visitors on that far side. It was Anguissa with the low ball cross to try and pick out the centre forward of Raspadori, who's starting instead of Victor Osimhen tonight. So Napoli have had a bit of a tough start at the San Siro this evening, but can they do something with this corner? This is their first corner of the game. And the corner is taken. It's swung in, lands on the edge of the 6-yard box. Marcus Thuram getting stuck in there. And then it's booted long back into the Napoli half, it looks like. With Romani out wide to Anguissa. Then down the line to Politano. Politano did collect the pass, but the ball went out of play for a Inter Milan throw-in. DeMarco takes it quickly with his bleached blonde hair. And he has been deadly this season. He has been some player. 5 goals and 8 assists in all competitions from Federico DeMarco. And he did score in the last game against Atletico Madrid, but wasn't enough to get them through. Martinez, 30 yards from goal, was collecting a long pass. Did well to just bring the ball down, but then the ball was taken off him and kicked out for a throw-in for Inter Milan. Matteo Darmian will just quickly clean the ball with his shirt. Might be going for an inspired Rory Delap throw here, and he does. It's a long one. Headed, flicked header across the face of goal. DeMarco tried to go for a left boot shot, only for it to be blocked the moment the ball went off his feet. And Napoli looks as though they've been given a free kick, but Di Lorenzo has just given the ball back to the referee of Federico the Penna. I think maybe the ball might have been punctured in the process there. Don't see that very often. Of course, it's okay in professional football. There's normally plenty of footballs to go around at these big stadiums, but we all remember back at the park when we'd play football, you'd play with a run-down football, and it would either get stuck under someone's car at some point, or it would go into a thorn bush, and then that's it. You're having to replace that ball with a Sondico ball at Sports Direct. Fantastic. Those are the memories. I mean, these days you're talking about footballs in the big leagues that cost over hundreds of pounds just for one ball. Into Milan now with a long ball out wide to pick out Darmian around 30 yards from the Napoli goal. Darmian could not get to the end of it, and it's going to be a throw-in for Napoli. Looking at Napoli's form away from home this season, this is their 15th game. But in their 14 previous games, they've won 6, drawn 4, lost 4, and have scored 23 goals from those 14 games, but conceded 14 of them. 22 points they've been able to pick up away from home. But in the head-to-head recently of these two teams, it's Inter Milan that have won 7 of their last 11 matches, while the other 4 games were 2 draws and 2 defeats. Oh, there's a foul there, and Napoli, it's the first booking of the game, and it's going to be for Inter Milan after Kvaratskhelia is tackled to the ground. He wins the visitors a free kick around 35 yards, and it looks as though, I think it's Benjamin Pavard who's been given the yellow card there. Benjamin Pavard will actually be 28 years old in 11 days' time. The former Bayern Munich player who joined Inter Milan last summer from the German champions. Here's Kvaratskhelia now. Gets past one man with his fantastic feet, only for it to fall to the ground, and Inter Milan intercept, but the Georgian international has still down. Referee will pause the game and check up on Kvaratskhelia. Just watching the replay, it involved a Cherby. I mean, he won the ball cleanly, that's why the referee was happy for it to be played on, but it was the follow-through that looks as though it caught Kvaratskhelia on his left leg. He's back on his feet, but the pace and the control that man has down the left-hand side is always a thrill to watch. And as I said before, you do wonder if he'll stay at Napoli for another season. I must admit, I thought him and Victor Osimhen were going to be the outgoings of last summer, but it ended up just being Kim who went to Bayern Munich. He was really the heart of that defensive line for Napoli last season. Now with Matteo Darmian. No, actually it was Benjamin Pavard. The good news is for Napoli, Kvaratskhelia is back on the pitch on both feet. Now with Benjamin Pavard again, the man who caused the foul on the Georgian. Now with Matteo Darmian to Barea. Oh, it's a long ball that went way behind DeMarco. He ain't going to get there in time. It's a poor pass from Mkhitaryan. Throwing it will be for Napoli, just in line on the edge of the 18-yard box. Di Lorenzo will go and pick it up on the sidelines. But yeah, just to confirm, Benjamin Pavard's the only player that has received a yellow so far tonight from the referee, Federico. And now here come Inter from the left-hand side. And again, it's just not happening for them in the final third at the moment. It was just another heavy, long pass from DeMarco. That's not like him. Tried to link up the play with his opposite wing maker of Barea, but couldn't get the pass right at all there. So Napoli got a throw-in out of it. And Acerbi having words with Raspadori, referee having to storm over and make sure nothing crazy comes out of it. But just words exchanged between the two players. And the play is back underway with Inter Milan. It's ended up being a bit of a poor attempt to go forward. They decided to go all the way back to Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer under pressure there, though, by, I think it was Raspadori who was chasing him down. No, it was Vatchgelia, actually. But Vatchgelia, as you'd expect, the man who's created the most goals for Napoli this season. He is the second top goal scorer as well in all competitions. 19 goals last year, but this season he's got 6 assists and 10 goals in the 37 games he's played in. That's not just in Serie A, that's in all competitions. Excited Microphone has got in touch and says, yo, hello, Excited Microphone. A big yo to you as well, my friend. Inter Milan on the attack, left-hand side. Oh, this looks like another long one, and it's not even been able to bounce in play again as Bastoni, actually no, it was a Cherby, sorry, who straight away puts his hands up to his teammates and apologises. Poor attempted cross, that is for sure. Raspadori still having words with the referee. I think he's still not happy with the foul. Well, there was a late tackle from Bastoni, and Bastoni again. No, it's Cherby, sorry, who's caused the foul this time. Gone in behind and clipped Raspadori. Them two at the moment can't get away from each other. But showing a replay of Victor Osimhen and his teammates on the bench appealing against the referee. And I guess they got what they wished for, which is a free kick. But Raspadori pretty much the target man for the Inter Milan defence, the main centre forward for them. It's his first season at Napoli in terms of his permanent deal after he was on loan from Sassuolo last season. But obviously he did enough and was able to stay on and play another season at Napoli. This season he's got 5 goals and 3 assists in 38 games. Of course, not always a starting centre forward because of Victor Osimhen. And there was a header just wide there from Traore, the man on loan from AFC Bournemouth. Couldn't convert the cross. But Napoli know they've got to take these chances when they get into the Inter Milan penalty area. Even though Osimhen's not started, it's good to see him in terms of his body language reacting just like a fan would when supporting Napoli, hoping his teammates can get the goals. So the stats so far, that Inter Milan have had 2 shots on target. Napoli haven't been able to reach the target at all yet. They nearly did just then. Instead it was Traore's header that went wide. Free kick for Inter Milan in their own half on the far side. There's 3 minutes remaining until we reach the halfway point of this game. No goals yet. Napoli, as I say, they're the ones that need the points to put pressure back on AS Roma, despite AS Roma winning earlier today. But here come Inter. A long ball that's having to go a bit wide for Lautaro Martinez. He does keep the possession though and keep it in play. Then it's gone a few yards out to his left of Berea, now with Mkhitaryan. Onto a Cherby with a cross and a goal! And it's Matteo Darmian who scores and puts Inter Milan ahead just at the stroke of half-time. And it's Matteo Darmian's second league goal of the season. Brilliant play. Started off with Martinez keeping it in play on the right-hand side. They then decided to switch sides, play it from the left, and then a low ball cross to pick out Matteo Darmian. And on his 153rd appearance for Inter Milan, Darmian puts Inter Milan ahead just before half-time. It's his second goal of the season. So the potential champions ahead against the champions of Italy. Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0. But it's so quick how they switch sides into Milan. As I say, it was Martinez with the play across And it looks as though it will be Bastoni who will get the assist. He made the pass across the face of goal to Matteo Darmian. And even though Matteo Darmian's normally seen as a wing-back, he went in there like a striker. He read it well. And as they do these days in Serie A, which is quite a nice gesture, they bring the ball that was scored back to the sidelines and into a bag that normally gets donated to charity, which is a nice touch from Serie A. Piece of memorabilia off to someone very special. Back with the game. They have resumed play with Napoli, of course, kicking off again. They were under a bit of pressure there. Merritt did well, though, the goalkeeper, to just keep it away from the Inter Milan front line. Napoli now, of course, they will have to try and equalise and get back into this. Can they try and get solvent just before half-time? They went straight down the middle and into the 18-yard box. And they do win a corner, I think. I'm sure that, yeah, it is going to be a corner. They wanted to take it short and quick, but looked as though the men in white weren't ready to take it inside the penalty area. I don't think there'll be a short corner here because there's no one available near the corner flag. The cross comes in. Kvaratskhelia with plenty of space, and he'll go for an attempt, and it's blocked. But now Inter Milan could go on the counter. 1 minute at a time given, and it's just a poor switch in play from Barea. Not enough power to get it across to DeMarco on the left-hand side. But if he had got that pass accurately, Inter Milan could have been through on goal to double the lead just moments after they took the lead. 20 seconds left of the added time. Only 1 minute given from the officials. And after all of that, I've completely forgotten to update the score. Let's update the score. There we go. Well, Napoli at the moment, while they're deep inside the Inter Milan half, and their opposition win the ball back, and that's enough for the referee now to blow the whistle for half-time, and applauds all over the San Siro from the Inter Milan supporters on a week where they could have seen themselves into the last eight of the Champions League. Instead, they've just got to focus on the league now, and they continue their form as they have done in the last few weeks. They lead this game at half-time against the champions of Italy, thanks to Matteo Darmian just moments before half-time. It is Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0. And we are going to take a short break, folks, so don't go anywhere. Go get yourself a drink, and we'll be back for the second half of this game. But just before we do go into half-time, there has been a penalty scored in added time of the first half for Montpellier. They have come from 2-0 down against Paris Saint-Germain to level at 2-2. TJ Savania has scored on the 47th minute in the first half from the penalty spot, and they are back in the game in that one. Benno, as I say, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back just before the start of the second half for your second half live commentary. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to our live commentary of Inter Milan versus Napoli in Serie A for your Sunday night football on Let's Talk Sport. If you have just joined us, it is Inter Milan that are leading at the halfway point, and they are on their way to winning their 11th match in a row in Serie A. After a goal on the 43rd minute from Matteo Darmian separates the two teams at the half-time break, and both teams are just getting ready to come out for the second half. Simeone Inzaghi, he's won 72 matches out of the 104 games in the league as Inter coach. Pretty impressive in terms of win percentages. I don't know that off by heart what it would be, but it's very impressive, and it looks as though Inter may make a change before we begin the second half. I've noticed that Bisek he's got his kit ready, and I think he'll be at least the first substitution of the game. But of course the Napoli manager, we talk about the Inter manager, the Napoli manager is only an interim boss, Francesco Calzona. He's won the last 4 games. Well, no, he's unbeaten in the last 4 games at least. So it looks as though, I think Besic is coming on to replace, it might be Benjamin Pavard. He's just about to come on anyway. He actually scored the winning goal against Bologna last Saturday. This will be his 18th appearance of the season. But we're just about to get underway for the second half. Inter Milan this time attacking from right to left in their blue and black kit, while Napoli in their away colours are full white, so white shirt, white shorts and socks. They're attacking from left to right. And I forgot to start the timer yet again. Jan Sommer's just having to boot it up in the air. And Napoli trying to go on the quick attack here. Instead it's a ball that was going long down to the right-hand side, but that ends up not finding anyone on that right wing. So throwing for Inter Milan for Bastoni to take. And I forgot to start the clock. There we go. I'm a bit behind. Hang on a moment. I think that's... yeah, that's about right. Perfect. I must admit, I still missed that substitution. I'm not sure if it was Pavard that came off. At the moment, I'm not sure. But anyway, Napoli at the moment with the ball in their own half. And straight away a shot there, just blocked by Merritt yet again with another big save. That's his 3rd big save of the game. And Inter Milan, if it wasn't for Merritt, they could have been 3 or 4-0 up in this match. Inter Milan now going on the attack with Besic. Don't know why, folks, on my feed I just can't seem to find out who's come off. I'm to go online to find out about this. But Lautaro Martinez with a golden chance to put it at 2-0. Instead, that did not happen. But we will go through the scores of Serie A in just a moment when we get the chance. So yes, it was Besic on for Pavard. Now I've got the confirmation for sure. As I say, this is, I'd imagine Pavard has gone off because of the fact that Pavard's already got a yellow card in this game, and I'd imagine Inzaghi just doesn't want to risk that, but there's still this 45 minutes to be played, and they're only 1-0 up as well, so I think that's quite a fair way of doing it. Besic normally is a centre-half, but so he is a defender. Here's DeMarco now on the left wing to Bastoni now, who picks up the pass. Then they tried to go for an attempted header, but it was well defended by Romani. Ball's gone back out of the penalty area, but still Inter Milan in control of the ball. Darmian with Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu out wide, and then across for Marcus Thuram. Well, he was unmarked. He tried to hit it first time with his right boot, which he did, but it goes miles over, and that would get you some points in a game of rugby with a kick, but not in football. Goal kick to come for Napoli. Marcus Thuram, I tell you what, he had some sitters, didn't he, the other day. He missed a big chance in that second half against Atletico Madrid to put the game to bed, but instead it was his team that would bow out to Atletico Madrid. And as we mentioned, Atletico Madrid, they're playing at the moment, their match was an 8 p.m. kickoff time. They are hosting Barcelona, who beat Napoli in midweek in the Champions League as well. Funny how all four teams that we mentioned are now playing each other in their own league. But meanwhile, Inter Milan looking for that second goal to potentially put this game to bed so early on in the second half. It's with Çalhanoğlu in the central midfield, inside the Napoli half with DeMarco. Çalhanoğlu with the return pass, but it looked as though by the time the ball got to him, his first touch was just a little too heavy, couldn't keep it in control, and it's gone out for a throw-in though for Inter to keep the attacking momentum going. Make sure everything sound-wise is working. Yep, there we go. So Bastoni with a short throw to DeMarco. DeMarco with the pass back to Bastoni. Bastoni didn't move a muscle really from where he took the throw-in. DeMarco gets a touch off his opponent. Raspadori. That looked like it went out for a throw-in. Can't quite tell. Missed the referee's signal there, but it was near the corner flag. I think the way the Inter Milan attacking team is lined up, it is a corner. Yes, it is, and this is, I think, their second corner of the game. DeMarco makes the signal to his teammates with the corner, swung in, deflected and headed across the face of goal. Napoli win a free kick. Barea caught with a foul. Napoli can have a breather, and they'll get themselves a free kick to take in their own half. Another goal at Montpellier. Montpellier 2, Paris Saint-Germain 3. It's Kylian Mbappe's second goal of the night. He scores 5 minutes into the second half. Free kick has been taken, Napoli. Oh, there's a late challenge on Marcus Thuram, and they will get a dangerous free kick coming up. Inter Milan, and there's been a yellow card for the Botka. And the Botka joins the referee's book, the first Napoli player to get booked this evening. The Botka, a fellow Slovakian too, is interim boss of Francesco Calzona. He actually once upon a time provided an assist to Christian Eriksen. No, sorry, it was a substitution, I apologise. It was a substitution. He replaced Christian Eriksen as a sub-player for Ajax once in 2013. That was before Eriksen had moved, not long before he moved to the Premier League to join Tottenham Hotspur in that window that Tottenham Hotspur spent quite a bit of money from the Gareth Bale sale on quite a few players. Meanwhile, back with this game, Inter Milan with DeMarco with the free kick, and it's a save by Merritt. He had to stretch to his left and punch it away for a corner kick to Inter Milan. DeMarco with a fantastic strike. It got past through all those players inside the box, but Merritt was ready for it, and he made another big save to keep Napoli in this game. I mean, he's doing all the work, but Napoli aren't doing anything up top, which makes you wonder, will Victor Osimhen come on in the second half? He did have a bit of a warm-up at half-time while some of his teammates had their half-time team talk, and here's a cross coming in for Thuram, and couldn't keep it low, and he headed it over the crossbar for it to be a Napoli goal kick. Actually, just watching the replay again of DeMarco's strike, it did take a deflection which directed the ball a bit wider, but it would have still gone in. So Merritt, with a very challenging shot, did very well there. But here come Napoli on the attack. Traore got past his man, but then got fouled by Barea, and he now gets booked. And he is the second player for Inter to get a yellow card this evening, along with Benjamin Pavard. So that's 3 yellow cards we've had in this game. Traore, yeah, I mean, there was no doubt a yellow card there. Brea knew what he was doing. He was beaten by Traore, and he didn't want to allow his opponent to run free towards the Inter Milan half. So Napoli with the free kick, short pass for Kvaratskhelia to just push the ball a few yards, then back with him. No, because he couldn't complete the pass, and instead it rolls out for a goal kick to Inter Milan. Di Lorenzo with not the best of passes. He won the was part of the Italy team that won the Euros in 2021 for Euro 2020. And there's been a late goal in the Eredivisie at PSV Eindhoven, the only goal of the game on the 96th minute. Ricardo Pepe with what looks to be the winning goal against FC Twente. What a late winner that is. We've seen some late winners today, and another goal has just come in Ligue 1. Paris Saint-Germain with a gap again in the scoreline. They lead by 4 goals to 2 away at Montpellier. Lee Kang in with a goal in the 53rd minute. That might have just put Montpellier's efforts of another comeback put into bed, you could say. Back with this one though. 10 minutes into the second half, Napoli trailing 1-0, unless there's a shot, and it is on target, but it was saved and kept in the hands of Jan Sommer. Kvaratskhelia with his signature move of playing down the left wing, then cutting it finally to his right-hand side. Oh, and Besic, just as the game had resumed play, had to be careful from behind there, and he kept the ball, but then Napoli intercept on the halfway line. It's with Di Lorenzo, who's in the central midfield area at the moment. Then with Anguissa. On to Traore. But that shot from Kvaratskhelia is the first shot on target of the game. Of course, they're only a goal behind. You know, Napoli just need that bit of confidence in them. Di Lorenzo, well, he thought his shirt was pulled. Linesman was nearby and had good vision of it, and the Napoli interim boss was appealing, saying that that was a foul, but instead it was not to be a free kick for them. Now with Napoli in the all-white kit, with Kvaratskhelia again. Oh, he actually does beat Darmian. Darmian falls to the ground. And there's been some words being said between Barea and Kvaratskhelia. Darmian fell to the ground, but there wasn't really much contact there. Kvaratskhelia, I think, I don't know if he was trying to call for a handball from Darmian, or at least a corner. I'm not sure. I think after all that, there won't be a booking or anything. I'm sure of that. While they shake hands, the Georgian international and the Italian international, they shake hands. And actually, it will be a corner for Napoli after all of that. It's going to be taken on the far side, and in it comes, only for a header to just go out to the far side, actually to the near side, that is. Now with Matteo Darmian couldn't keep full control, and he said he just kicks it up in the end. He might have just picked out DeMarco. DeMarco gets there, but Kvaratskhelia came all the way back to stop the pass from being completed. Now with Darmian again. Now with Besic. Besic, the furthest man back for Inter at the moment. Plays it out to the left of Bastoni. Bastoni now with a long ball out wide to the right wing of Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan with the cross, headed away by Romani. Now Traore to get the attack going for Napoli down the middle, and it's out to Di Lorenzo, but Bastoni tracks well back and he stops the run of play for it to go out for a corner kick. Both Italians going for the ball there, but Bastoni defended really well against his Italian teammate. Another corner to come for Napoli. And Politano will be the man to take this corner kick. Referee just pausing, he's talking to Juan Jesus. So he's delaying this corner for being taken. Cherby's now getting involved. But I'd say in the last few minutes it's been very heated between some of the players on the pitch. Well, it's delaying it. I'm not really sure what the referee's trying to do here. I mean, he's had their words, just let them get on with it maybe. Politano finally takes a few steps back from the ball to take this corner. And he kicks it in with his left foot. Jan Sommer had to stretch and just punch it up in the air. He couldn't get his back behind it. It's gone out though of the penalty area, stops the attack from Napoli, and it's gone all the way back to the opposition goalkeeper of Alex Merritt. Well, we've reached the hour mark. Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0. Inter Milan aiming for 11th league win in a row, and they've only ever done it twice in their history, by winning 11 consecutive matches in the competition. I believe they last did it in 2007 February time when they reached that mark. They did win the league that season, and also in 2021 when they were playing under Antonio Conte. But they have been brilliant in the last few games. Napoli with a cross from Di Lorenzo, didn't pick out a white shirt, and instead it was blocked and in behind for a corner. Napoli starting to build some momentum here. There was a low ball cross that was blocked on the near post. Politano will take this again. This is, if I've got it correct and tallied it correctly, it's their 5th corner of the game. So Napoli creating some chances now. Corner is swung in again, but it's only to be headed out for a throw-in on the far side, just a few yards away from the corner flag for Napoli to take. It has finished at PSV Eindhoven. That late winner from Ricardo Pepe has got them the win against FC Twente. 1-0 it ended there. Looks like they will be on to winning the Dutch league title. Now with Napoli out onto the left wing. 3 of them in the penalty area. Hoping for a delivery in. It's with Vatchkelia again. On to Oliveira. Vatchkelia with a short forward pass on to Raspadori. Then a cross comes in and then it's headed out for another corner for the Blues. But I guess you should say the Whites tonight, since they're not playing in their sky blue colours. Actually, I think it's their 8th corner from what I'm reading. So corner yet again comes in. Oh, and an effort from outside the box from Traore. He hit it first time on the volley, but it went wide, and a goal kick for Inter. And they have got underway in La Liga between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona in the second half. Robert Lewandowski putting them ahead by 2-0, scoring 2 minutes into the second half. Inter Milan with that goal kick, then it's Jan Sommer who kicks it out onto the left-hand side of DeMarco. Now with Matteo Darmian, the man who scored the opening goal in that first half, only his second goal of the season. Napoli will let it go out for a throw just in front of Simeone Inzaghi, who looks like he will win his first ever Serie A title. Of course, he is a former Lazio manager, but he didn't win the league with them when he was there, but he is in with a chance of winning his 100th game as Inter Milan manager. That's in all competitions, by the way. Not in Serie A, but in all competitions. Now with Besic trying to put this game to bed. Instead, it's a ball into the box that takes a deflection and in behind for an Inter Milan corner. But still quite an end-to-end game, this. Only one goal separating them. And it's Mbappe who scores a hat-trick tonight. Just after the hour mark, he scores to put PSG 5-2 up away at Montpellier. But the Inter Milan fans in the stands at the San Siro jumping up and down, waving their scarves, waving the flags to give their team some big support ahead of this corner. Header goes across the face of goal, but I think it was trying to be a passing header instead of a header at the Napoli goal. Bisset now with Thuram, with DeMarco. Back with DeMarco again, now with Bastoni. And Gracie came storming in and kicks it out for a Inter Milan throw-in. Alessandro Bastoni is actually rumoured to be a Chelsea and Manchester City target for this summer. That has been coming up over the last few weeks. Long throw taken by Bastoni, only flicked, headed away by Napoli, and then a shot blocked. Barea this time with the shot. Instead it goes behind for another corner. Can't quite tell who it was that made the block there. But it was a big block either way. Barea took one touch before he took the strike on, and then it was Wan who got his body in the way of the shot. So corner to come for Inter again. And it's swung in direct again. DeMarco with the shot, blocked by Kvaratskhelia, I think it was. I don't think he even saw the ball coming, to be honest. Just luckily for him, he was at the right place at the right time. Goal kick after all of that. But DeMarco, he's just been, as I said before in the first half, brilliant player to watch. One of our friends on Let's Talk Sport, Seb True, said in a text the other day that he's probably the best left back in the world right now. And Inter, they nearly punished Napoli there after they lost possession just outside of the penalty area. Trying to play from the back, always risky when trying it out. Inter Milan having three of them up front, chasing them down, but Napoli keep the possession for now, and they could have ended up being 2-0 down from their own mistake. We saw that earlier actually in the FA Cup clash between Man United and Liverpool, where Liverpool scored, but luckily for the hosts it was offside, but they gave the ball away by playing from the back with Andre Onana. I think Inter Milan might be making a substitution when the ball next goes out of play. Play has resumed. It's inside the Napoli penalty area at the moment, with Merritt just booting it long down the middle, only for Inter Milan to get the possession back with DeMarco, who makes a short forward pass down the left to Barea. Barea cuts in, has DeMarco near him. Instead he plays it to Mkhitaryan, and he chips it forward into the box, but doesn't find anyone, and it's picked up by Merritt. straight away. He doesn't hesitate. He throws it out wide to the left-hand side. Napoli coming down this left wing now inside the inter-half. And a cross. Well, it took a deflection, but Jan Sommer was able to just catch it and avoid giving away a corner kick. He makes a short pass through the middle to Mkhitaryan. Now with Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram just holds the ball for a few seconds on the halfway line and then plays it back to Besic. I think he was allowing time for some of his teammates to just run forward. Looks as though there will be a substitution coming for Napoli when it goes out of play, and it looks as though it's Kajust who will be coming on. The question is, who will he replace? That I'm not sure about. But in the other Serie A games over the weekend, this Inter Milan and Napoli game is the last one of match day 29. Coming into the last parts of the season now, every point counts, especially for Napoli, who are trying to get some sort of chance of European spot unless Traore gets something from this shot. And he skies it with his right boot. Goal kick it will be after all of that, but it was Jan Sommer with a poor kick. Nearly got punished there. Traore then cuts in on the edge of the box, but the ball started to roll away from his right foot. He did get his foot behind it, and actually that will be his last kick of the game. Traore being replaced by Kajust. And of course, for any of you Bournemouth fans, you'll be keeping an eye on him, I'm sure, at Napoli, since he's on loan from the Cherries. So Kajust has come on. And also Fatesi has come on for Inter Milan. Well, anyway, Inter Milan had missed out who Fatesi replaced there, but meanwhile here they come out down the right-hand side, and actually Napoli stopped that pace of attack just at the right time. And it is Nicola Brea who's actually gone off, I've just noticed. So that's him done. Of course, another player that's gone off for Inter that has had a yellow card in this game. Looks as though Inzaghi just doesn't want to. Oh, Jan Sommer. Well, he flicked the ball backwards to try and just keep it further away, but he nearly was out of position and could have nearly lost the ball there. But luckily for him, he's been able to avoid the embarrassment of giving Napoli a goal there. And just as Inter were going through on the attack, referee has stopped play and says that Anguissa was fouled. Looks like it might have been a hand to the face there from Marcus Thuram, as both of them went up in the air for the ball. Actually, it looks as though two Napoli players went down in that build-up. Of course, Fatesi coming on, he's well, this is his 33rd appearance, 6 goals and 5 assists, on loan from Sassuolo, who might have done enough this season to get a permanent contract maybe for next season. I'm sure that'll be something revealed in the summer. 18 minutes to go, still Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0. Inter Milan on course to win their 11th league game in a row. And remember, they've only lost once this season at the San Siro. So it is a big ask for Napoli to turn this around in the next 18 minutes. But to be honest with you, after watching Man United Liverpool earlier, anything can happen in a game of football. But this is done after 90 minutes, regardless of if it's a draw or if Inter or well, basically regardless of if it's a draw, this is a league match. And Gracer then with Di Lorenzo. Napoli ain't giving up yet. They're trying to get any points that they can grab, whether it's home or away, to claim a European spot for next season. They're probably too far behind to get into the Champions League spots in the top 4, but a Europa League spot might not be out of the question just yet. They are 7 points behind AS Roma after AS Roma won earlier today, but they are 10 points behind Bologna, which is probably enough for them not to get there. Simeone and Mario Rui are coming on for Oliveira and Raspadori. That's them done for the rest of the game. So Mario Rui coming on for Oliveira. And Raspadori being replaced by Simeone, which, again, no Victor Osimhen coming on as the centre forward, which you'd think would be available. He is on the bench. He did warm up at half time, but it looks as though Calzona is not allowing it to happen at the moment. But no, we're just over 15 minutes to go. How many more chances are they going to get? Well, at the moment it's in the wrong half for them. They're in their own penalty area with the ball. Mario Rui is the vice captain, and this is his 25th appearance. It's Rivka just the first substitution that came on for Napoli, and then a cross from the left-hand side, only for it to be headed out of the penalty area, and Inter have won a throw-in on the far side. Patesi absolutely making sure that Kvaratskhelia has kicked that out. Remember to get in touch on our live chat page, folks, and read out your messages. It looks as though Inter Milan will win. Our fans vote of who will win the game tonight. If you want to sit on the fence, you can vote for a draw as well. And if you are new here, do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube for more of our live streams in sport, whether that's football, women's football, men's football, or any other sports. We're here to try and do as much as we can, as we love talking about sport. And also, if you are a Twitch user, be sure to follow Let's Talk Games 12, figure 12 at the end of the name. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitch. We did our first stream last night after I was playing a bit of Family Guy. First time I've ever streamed on Twitch, so certainly baby steps, but I'll be aiming to stream again tomorrow night for a little bit. And then on Tuesday night, we'll be providing a live watch-along of the Women's Champions League. That is Ajax women versus Chelsea women in the knockout stages of the first leg, that is, between the two. That's happening at the Amsterdam Arena before they head to Stamford Bridge a few weeks later. So do join me for that. That's at 5:45 p.m. on Tuesday night for the Women's Champions League. Back with this then. Still a game on our hands here. Only a goal that separates Kvaratskhelia on his own at the moment. Then plays a pass out wide to the left, and Gracer with the chance, and he absolutely spoons his kick. He put his foot under the ball and just kicked it up in the air, and that's another wasted chance, and it'll count as a shot off target. Alexis Sanchez has got his kick ready. It looks as though he'll be the next substitution for the hosts here. Here's Lautaro Martinez, who's been, I'd like to say, kept quiet by the Napoli backline in this game. He is the top goal scorer in Serie A this season, but he's not really had much opportunities in front of him today. But still Still a few minutes left. You wouldn't be surprised if he did score anyway. Here's DeMarco on the near side. And then he plays the pass to Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram played a poor first touch. It was a heavy touch. But when he tried to win the ball back, he was fouled. And he's got himself a free kick for his team. And I think as we wait for the free kick to be taken, Denzel Dumfries is going to be coming on, as well as Alexis Sanchez. Now I'd imagine Dumfries is going to come on for Franco DeMarco. Round of applause. Actually, it might be Lautaro Martinez, and it will be. So the captain is off. Sanchez is off. Is coming on as well, and it is DeMarco who will be coming off in the double substitution. Of course, this is Sanchez's first season back at Inter after he was playing in France for Marseille. At half-time in the Portuguese league, Sporting Lisbon 1, Boavista 1. So it looks as though, yeah, I've got down Inter Milan 4 substitutions made, Napoli with the 3. Of course, these days the maximum of subs is 5 per team. The Nerazzurri have got the throwing coming up. So goals conceded so far this season between the 76th minute and 90th minute under Inter Milan. They haven't conceded at all in the latter parts of a game in the league this year. That is very impressive. As I said, Jan Sommer currently on 23 clean sheets. He's on course to getting a 24th out of 37 games. Breathtaking goalkeeping and defending from Inter Milan this season, just by looking at the stats there. Now Kajust with the cross and a header at goal, but Jan Sommer, not enough power in the header from Simeone, and Jan Sommer catches that header on the near post. Of course, Giovanni Simeone, not the, compared to Osimhen, not the top goal scorer. 3 goals this season for Napoli in all competitions, but not sure what's going on with Osimhen. I thought we'd have seen him by now, but now there's only 10 minutes left, and Napoli, after a protest from Matteo Darmian, have won themselves a corner. Politano with the corner, and it's headed at goal, and Napoli have equalised. It's a goal from Juan Jesus. He heads it in from the far post, and that silences the San Siro. And as we were saying before, Inter Milan have never conceded in the last quarter of an hour of a game this season, but Napoli have broken that, and they may just stop Inter Milan from winning their 11th league game in a row. All because of Juan Jesus, who scores a header from a corner. And, wow, could we see a late winner from one of these two teams? It's Inter Milan 1, Napoli 1. And that is actually Juan Jesus' first goal of the game. And he is a former Inter Milan player. Played over 110 games for them. So he scored and he celebrated as though he didn't care who it was against. Late drama here maybe at the San Siro to come. So 82 minutes gone, Inter Milan 1, Napoli 1. There was a kid in the stands who's mixed in with the Inter Milan fans, wearing a Napoli shirt and has a scarf with him, and he was waving it after his team had scored. Brave man though in the home end. And then Inter Milan are starting to get rattled here. Matteo Darmian penalised. Referee awards a free kick to the visitors. He went in behind his opponent of, I think it was Politano. Politano is back on his feet, and you can see the grass stain over his left shoulder. No doubt that was a free kick. So all of a sudden Napoli looking for a winning goal. They may have lost the league this season, but they're going to show Inter. They're going to delay them from winning it even more. Then there's a cross in from Kvaratskhelia free kick, and then it's headed wide by Di Lorenzo. That ball drifts past the far post, and it will be an Inter Milan goal kick. But you know, I keep mentioning Victor Osimhen. Could they try and get him on now to go for a late winner? I mean, for the Inter Milan defence, they wouldn't like that, would they? Against fresh pair of legs of Victor Osimhen, and Buchanan has just come on to replace Matteo Darmian, who scored the only goal for Inter tonight. Buchanan, a Canadian international. We actually commentated on him scoring a goal for his country in a World Cup qualifier against Jamaica a couple of years ago. And now here he is at Inter Milan 2 years later. What can he provide late on in this game? He goes down the wing with the ball, as he mentioned. He was fouled, he said, but as you can hear the loud anger from the crowd, they're saying Buchanan was fouled by Anguissa. Buchanan at first did push Anguissa away from the ball, but then Anguissa responded, and that was Buchanan who went down, and Napoli with the free kick give the ball away. It's inside the penalty area, Marcus Thuram, and he couldn't get his pass through to Buchanan there. This feels like end-to-end stuff all of a sudden. But yeah, Buchanan was a January transfer window, so he is still pretty much a new boy at the San Siro. Joined from Club Brugge, and this is only his third appearance of the season. Hasn't really made an impact yet, but again, of course, he hasn't been given a fair share of minutes. No goals yet. But just like when we saw Man United earlier bringing on a young kid of Amad Diallo, look what he provided in those last few minutes before extra time, and then he goes on and scores the winning goal, a goal he'll never forget at Manchester United. Now here's Kvaratskhelia in a sandwich of two Inter players, but as you always do, you can put your house on him to come out of it and still have the possession. It's now played across the field to Di Lorenzo. Now Politano. Politano, was he fouled? No. No, oh no, referee, well, he lets him to play on, but now he goes back to it because Politano has stayed on the ground. Referee looked a bit undecided there. And if that is a foul, it will be a dangerous free kick to come on the right wing. It was Bastoni who went in there with a sliding challenge. I'd say he didn't have his studs up for it though, but he did catch his opponent. Of course, they keep showing replays of the corner from, you know, it's in the Napoli goal that they scored, but they're showing what happened before the ball went out for a corner. They keep replaying it to show if either the ball went out of play or not. And there has been a yellow card for the Napoli interim manager of Francesco Calzona. This is only his 7th game in charge since he replaced the previous manager. As I mentioned, he is also the manager of Slovakia, so he'll be getting ready for the international break with his other team. But meanwhile, could his team here of Napoli take the lead for the first time? Wow, not with that kind of free kick. It was just kicked up in the air and way over the target. I'm not sure what Politano was thinking there. But what a golden chance wasted by the Pole international. So, Jan Sommer with the short goal kick. Back with him, he boots it up in the air. Into the Napoli half it goes, then a flick header forward. And then it's through to Marcus Thuram, and it's a good last-minute tackle from Romani. Marcus Thuram still on the ground, but Romani's not having any of it. He's trying to pull him back up. Play continues. Referee ignores what's happened, and it's now with Napoli who can go on the counter here with Anguissa. Now on the left-hand side. Oh, instead the ball across, a low ball pass across onto the edge of the 18-yard box is intercepted. Now Inter going forward, 6 men going up there, up against 4 Napoli defenders out wide to the left of Buchanan, who's just come on. Buchanan tries to cut in, but he gets outstrength by his opponent. Napoli get the ball back, but not for long, because it's back with Buchanan, as it was nicely cleaned up there by Achirby. Now out to the left wing of Denzel Dumfries, another substitution that's just come on. Swings the ball in for Thuram, goes up in the air against the goalkeeper. And the referee, after all of that, has given Napoli a free kick. And that is normally a thing in modern day football. Any contact against the goalkeeper up in the air is most likely going to be a free kick for the defending team. Marcus Thuram did really well though to go up there. He didn't hesitate. He was willing to take on the contact from the goalkeeper, it looked like. But it is getting rowdy here at the San Siro. I think some of the Inter fans are not happy that Thuram didn't get a penalty, but it is deafening. The decibels raising higher and higher on the levels. And in the midst of all that, Simeone Inzaghi has just been given a yellow card, so that's both coaches for Napoli and Inter that have been booked tonight. So into the last 30 seconds before we reach the 90. How many minutes will we get here from the 4th official? Next goal win scenario. Inter trying to win 11 in a row. Napoli in good form under their interim boss, it would seem. They have scored 11 goals in 5 games, Napoli, under Calzona. One more than in the 12 league games under Walter Mazzari, who got sacked. He got 9 goals in his games. And there's only going to be 3 minutes of added time. There was a long ball there for Inter. It was towards Patesi, but he couldn't complete the pass as he approached the Napoli penalty area. And Napoli going forward. Kvaratskhelia pulled to the ground, wins a free kick, I'd say around 40 yards from the Inter Milan goal. It was Denzel Dumfries that caused the foul, and I think that's the end for Kvaratskhelia. He's going to come off for Lindstrom, and Politano is also being replaced by Engunj. Or Engong, I think that's the best way of saying it. So Lindstrom coming on, but I must admit, when you think that it's only 2 minutes left of added time, is it really worth taking Kvaratskhelia off? So Napoli take the free kick. Has that gone out for a corner? No, it'll be a throw-in. Just before the corner flag. While we're already a minute and a half in, Paris Saint-Germain are now 6-2 up at Montpellier. Nuno Mendes on the score sheet this time after Kylian Mbappe secured a hat-trick tonight. Mendes scoring a minute before the 90 there. Thrown in for Napoli with Mario Rui. Onto Traore. Oh, and it's just stopped in play by Basic. He does really well to stop the run down the left-hand side. Inter have only lost once this season, but here come Inter now with a fast-paced attack on the right wing. Only 2 of them in the box, ready for the cross from Marcus Thuram. Buchanan tries to go in for the header, but Romani stays strong by jumping up in the air to head it away from the Canadian. Now with Bastoni, controls it well and gets the ball away from Aslanani. Sorry, from Anguissa, got that completely wrong. And Di Lorenzo stands strong against his opponent to let the ball go out for a throw-in. just about 15 seconds to go. Inter Milan being held here against the champions of Italy. Di Lorenzo takes the throw-in. Couldn't pick out Engeza, and it's now with Buchanan. Now Çalhanoğlu through to... Oh, it nearly got to the front line there for Inter to go for it, but Alex Merritt read the ball very well there, and he picked it up, no problem. But here come Napoli now on the left-hand side. Oh, and it was a good tackle. But, well, we've reached the 3 minutes, and is the referee going to blow the whistle? I think he will. He has paused the game. Yep, I think that's it. So, at full time, it has ended at 1-1. We could not get a winning goal at the end there. But even though Inter Milan are looking like the team to be the champions this season, the current champions of Italy just wanted to maybe delay the celebrations a little longer. Napoli, while they'll go 14 points clear at the top of the table after tonight's draw. It was Matteo Darmian who scored the opener just before half-time. But Juan Jesus scoring in the last quarter of an hour of the game, Inter conceding for the very first time this season in the league by conceding in the last quarter of an hour of the match. And it just kind of wraps up what has been a pretty disappointing week for Inter Milan. They go and get knocked out against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League away from home, and then back at the San Siro. They may not have lost, but their winning streak has come to an end in the league. 10 wins in a row it was, but they could not get it to an 11th win in terms of 11th consecutive win. So it has ended here at the San Siro. Inter Milan 1, Napoli 1. So just before we wrap up, we can just quickly look at the table then. So as mentioning, Inter Milan now 14 points clear at the top after 29 games played. That is their 4th draw of the season, and they're on 76 points, 14 points behind the red and black half of Milan, of AC Milan, after they've also played 29 games. AC Milan did win earlier this weekend, but they're also, AC Milan are only 3 points ahead of Juventus, but Juventus didn't get a win today. They got a goalless draw at home to Genoa in the early kickoff earlier today. They won't be happy about that because they don't want to miss out on at least getting the second spot as runners-up if they're not going to take Inter Milan to a title showdown. So Juventus on 59 points. And then let's look at Napoli. They remain 7th, and their point gets them 2 points clear from Fiorentina on 43 points because Fiorentina's match against Atalanta over the weekend was postponed. So they do have a game in hand over Napoli. And of course, if they win that, they will go above the Italian champions. So for Napoli's draw, they are now 6 points behind AS Roma for that Europa League spot and 2 points behind Atalanta. But of course, they've also got a game in hand over Napoli because of their match with Fiorentina being postponed. So who have they got next? Both teams. So both teams do not play again until the international break is over. So they won't be back in action, Inter Milan, until April the 1st when they're back at the San Siro against Empoli. That'll be a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. For Napoli, they'll also be at home in Naples against Atalanta. Big game, a big 6-pointer. That will be in the fight for the Europa League spot or maybe the Champions League spot. It is still mathematically possible for Napoli, but many will doubt that they will get there. So that game is on March the 30th, which is on a Saturday. The kickoff is at 11:30 a.m. So I think we are going to wrap it up there, folks. So thank you very much for listening and watching our live commentary tonight of Inter Milan versus Napoli. So Inter Milan didn't get the 11th game in a row. The party kind of delayed by Napoli. They may not have won the Serie A title again this season, but they just gave maybe Inter Milan something to think about after what has been a bit of a mixed week for the Nerazzurri. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you again very soon, probably on Tuesday night for our next watch-along of the Women's Champions League between Ajax Women and Chelsea Women. Tuesday night, 5:45 p.m. kickoff at the Amsterdam Arena. So do join us for that. Until then, it's good night and see you soon.